Welcome back to Sorare. My name's Nate. Going to be coming to you every Thursday with some analysis on the upcoming weekend games. If you'd like to support the work I do here at Sorare, I'd love a like or a follow below. I also offer a $5 a month Patreon subscription, and that includes access to full Google Sheet projections, a personalized auto-populating gallery organizer, and a Sorare Edge Discord where you can get personalized advice from myself and from our other community members. Today I'm going to be covering the top 3 hitters for this weekend and 3 top value plays using our Sorare Edge projection system. I'll also give you my top 3 starting pitchers and 3 value starting pitchers. And then if you want to hang around at the end, I'm going to build my common lineup, show you kind of how some of our tools work. All right, let's jump into game week 27. All right, the first player I'm going to highlight is our number 3 overall play this week. It's Gunnar Henderson. 35.01 for our projection this week. We look at Gunnar, he's just having a breakout campaign. I think a lot of people expected him to be good, but probably not this good immediately. Already 26 home runs, and we're not even through June. He steals bases, got everything you'd want in a superstar player. Baltimore gets Texas at home. It's not even a really advantageous week for hitters in Baltimore. It's about even, but he's so good, he still ranks in the top 3. Our number 2 overall play is Shohei Ohtani, Dodgers star, not pitching this year, obviously. I thought, well, he won't be as valuable. Well, he's still pretty valuable. He's probably the second best hitter in the league right now, behind Aaron Judge, who's just on a historic pace. We look at Ohtani's StatCast page. It's just 100th percentile for almost everything. I mean, he's just incredible. He is still stealing some bases, too. If we look at the Dodgers, they're playing the Giants in San Francisco, so this is a 1% I take off of Dodger hitters this week just because the Giants' park is such a pitcher's park. But regardless, he makes the top 3 as our second overall play. And Aaron Judge, after a slow start to the season, is our top play again this week. He's just on an otherworldly run right now, already at 30 homers. He seems to homer every night. He's our top projection at almost 37 points this week. The Yankees go to Toronto, play against that less than stellar Toronto pitching staff. A 3% increase for Judge gives him the top spot. Let's say we want to find some hitting value. If you look down our list, you'll see I have an instant buy price that I updated a couple days ago. We do this periodically. Like for Judge, 1,187 ETH would be 0.1187 ETH. So a couple $100. It's just a way to compare them. I just don't use the decimal points. But when we divide their composite projection by their instant buy price, we get a value metric over here. And so what I like to do is for value picks, I'm going to find somebody with a projection higher than 20, a usable player. And the top player with a green value metric is Jonathan India. As you can see over the last 100 plate appearances, Jonathan India's rolling expected WOBA has gone up significantly. He's playing every day. As Cincinnati has more and more injuries to their regulars, his playing time becomes more and more secure, but he's playing well enough where he would not come out of the lineup anyway. He's got a career best walk rate of 13%. He's not striking out. His expected WOBA is higher than his actual one, which means he could get even better as the season rolls on. That max EV is over that 110 mark that I like. He's a patient hitter. He's getting on. Got a little bit of pop, got a little bit of speed. This is a good value play this week. Jonathan India. Another one that sticks out is Brendan Donovan in St. Louis. As you can see, he was right around league average for a big part of the season, and in his last couple at bats, he started to heat up a little bit. This is a guy that does not strike out. He is in the top 6% of the league in K percentage. His weighted on base is pretty much earned at this point. 335, still well above league average though. And for an extra bat and a value play this week, got him at 24.35. And let's find you one more. All right, the Mets are red hot. How about Harrison Bader? Playing time has ticked up. Starlin Marte now on the IL. I think Bader starts all weekend. As you can see, he's ticked way up in the last couple at bats that he's had here. Had a hot series against the Yankees. And this is a guy with some speed, a little bit of power, and he is right around that league average hitting mark, but his bat's hot right now, so he might be a guy to take a chance on for cheap. So there's 3 value plays for this weekend. Getting into the starting pitching, we're going to use 3 guys who are confirmed for this weekend. Your number 3 is going to be Tyler Glasnow. Basically, he's a start every time he goes out there. LA is in San Francisco, so nice pitcher's park. San Francisco doesn't strike out a lot, and their team of hitters is pretty average, but slight edge to the Dodgers pitching. Glass now you can start against anybody. This is a decent matchup. Paul Skeens for Pittsburgh is our number 2 pick. Pittsburgh's in Atlanta. Normally with Acuna healthy and the Braves hitting well, I would say be wary. With Acuna out, this lineup hasn't been the same. It's a pretty even pitching matchup. The Braves do strike out. They can hit a little bit, but they do strike out. Park factor favors hitters a little bit. So this is a pretty even matchup. Skeens has been just lights out. I wouldn't be afraid of anybody with him. I would start him every time. And our top pitcher is Garrett Crochet. Now, Garrett Crochet was off of most people's radar heading into the season. He does have an RP card rolling around. That is a huge bonus if you can get one of those. He just shut down the Dodgers his last time out. He's pretty much matchup proof at this point. And this weekend, the White Sox get Colorado at home. This is a 10% boost for Crochet. Colorado strikes out a lot. They don't hit very well. Guaranteed rate field is a bit of a pitcher's park. 10% boost for Crochet puts him above Skeens and Glasnow this weekend for me. So those are your top 3 starting pitchers for this weekend. If we're looking for some deep value plays, Casey Mize had 10 strikeouts his last start for Detroit. Not sure where that came from as he hasn't had the big strikeout numbers this year, but he does have a big arm. He's got 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball. I think if he can place it correctly and figure out his pitch sequencing, this could be a guy who turns into a really good pitcher. He struggled a little bit this year. Detroit, obviously, not a good offense behind him, but he gets the Angels this weekend. Not a great lineup. I think if you're in the need for a cheap starter, he could fill that gap for you. Reese Olson, also with Detroit, underrated. Again, gets the Angels. He's got a 2-8 record, but an ERA in the 3s. I think this is a good start for him. He'd be my second pick for a value play. And Christopher Sanchez has been really good overall this year. We've got the Marlins on the road. This is a good matchup for Philly. Obviously, that great offense behind him. I think he's a great start this weekend. He would be my number 1 value play on your board. So I want to show you how our gallery organizer looks. Basically, when I change projections in my main Google Sheet, in this sheet, it will auto-populate the gallery organizer once you have all the names and the teams entered. And so then when I get my game week projections for each week, I can resort them. So I put the top projections at the top. I like to keep them separated, commons, limiteds, and so on. So to do that, we just do a quick, first thing we do is click this little guy in the upper left, selecting everything. We want to sort the whole range so that everything moves in tandem. The information in each row moving together when you sort rather than just sorting one column at a time. So we do advanced range sorting. And I want the scarcity first, A to Z, common first. And then I want the current game week projection, G, Z to A. So I'm putting the top projections at the top of the sheet. All right, let's go ahead and do our common all-star. All right, looking like I've got 4 probables this weekend. We've got Lopez, Fried, Ragans, and Gray. Let's check out our starting pitching. And again, we're just going to quick do a sort here. So of the guys that I have going, School would be top, but he's not pitching. Gray would be second. Tough to overlook Lopez this week after he had that great start and now gets the Mariners. But it just wasn't quite enough. Even with a 21% boost, it wasn't quite enough to move Lopez ahead of Sonny Gray. So I'm going to go with Gray. For my relievers, it's looking like Ryan Helsley. Relievers are a little finicky because, let's say with Helsley, he's pitched 3 out of the last 4 days. If he would go again today, 4 out of 5 would mean he's probably not available on Friday night. So that limits him to 2 opportunities, and then I'd probably end up going with Suarez. But we don't know that yet. So for now, I'm going to go with Helsley, the number 2 overall relief pitcher so far this season, behind only Class A. So there's my starter and my relief pitcher. And then when we look at our list of common players and our projections for this coming game week, Tyler O'Neill tops the list. He's getting hot again. Of course, he's an outfielder. I need a corner infielder first. It's going to be Freddie Freeman, 30.91. I need a middle. It's going to be Bobby Witt. My outfielder is going to be O'Neill this week. I think I traded him in when he was injured. Well, that's unfortunate. And all right. Well, then my outfielder is going to be Riley Green, closest guy here. So Jordan, corner infielder or an outfielder. And I have all those filled, so he's going to be my extra hitter. And I have a 27.29 on Christian Yelich. He would be my next best hitter. If we go back to the starting pitching, we see that Lopez is 28.4, and I was debating on whether I wanted to start him anyway, so he's going to be my flex. A nice weekend start against the Mariners in Seattle. We're going to put Lopez down here. So there you have it. And it even had a confirm button. Sorare's fixing things. Yay! Yay! All right, well, if you made it this far, you're a real one. Thanks for watching. As I said before, if you would like to join us, there's a link to the Patreon below. If you can give me a like or a follow on this, I'll have videos every Thursday giving you some ideas. Thanks for watching.